Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.
Previously on the Transformers.
The Autobots are starting to gather their strength. Ratchet, Bumblebee, and the Kid are at the old Decepticon warship, the Harbinger. And after a spectacular escape from Darkmount, Wheeljack met up with Bulkhead.
Don't with the Wreckers.
While RC and Jack were on hand to welcome Ultra Magnus to Earth. But the Decepticons aren't out of tricks yet. Shockwave proved his mad science pedigree by spending his free time cloning a robot dragon named Predaking. He even knows a few tricks. His favorite? Kill Autobots. Both sides are setting up for an all-out brawl. Now, as always, spoiler warnings. The episode titled Prey,
the only appropriate action when facing a Predacon,
begins with the debut of Megatron's newest superweapon, Predaking. Meanwhile, Doc Whiny, Bee, and the Kid are trying to get the Harbinger's ground bridge working, and the Wreckers are planning to contact the other Autobots the best way they know how, with an explosion.
Those magnificent bastards.
Unfortunately, this plan is interrupted by Predaking, who's tracking Wheeljack's Energon signature, I think. But masters of improvisation that they are, Bulkhead and Wheeljack decide to use their signal explosion on Predaking. But unfortunately, Predacons are nothing if not durable. So before they're turned into Dragon Chow, Bulkhead, Wheeljack, and Miko are rescued by the end result of a sinister Quintesson experiment to insert a solid adamantium rod directly into a Transformer's named Ultra Magnus, who insists on following strict military protocol. At this point, the team is pretty much all back together. Too bad they still have an angry Predacon in hot pursuit. But it's okay, Magnus and the gang managed to shake him by using the Predacon's natural enemy, an avalanche. So RC, Bulkhead, Wheeljack, and Commander Von Buzzkill meet up with Bumblebee and Ratchet to prepare for the big showdown. In the meantime, Smokescreen has managed to recover the Forge of Solus Prime. But get this, it only has a limited number of uses. What? So instead of using it to repair Optimus Prime, they're going to use it to fix the Omega Lock. That's right, the ancient relic of Cybertron needs batteries. What? Okay, there's not really a lot to this particular episode. It's basically an extended chase sequence with the Autobots as little mice, running from one big angry Predacat. And taken for what it is, it's alright. Unfortunately, Predaking isn't quite the unstoppable killing machine he's billed as. Now don't get me wrong, he's tough as nails. He's shot, blown up, and only stopped when the Autobots drop a mountain on him. But this dragon doesn't exactly bring the heat. With so few Autobots, I wasn't expecting the writers to throw Predaking one as a chew toy, but he can't even down one measly little Autobot shuttle. And his main breath weapon isn't much to speak of. Then there's Ultra Magnus, who's equally underwhelming. I've always thought of Ultra Magnus as a cheap-shotty version of Optimus Prime, but the Transformers Prime version seems to be more competent. He's a good pilot, at least. But personality speaking, saying that he has all the warmth and emotion of a toaster would be doing an extreme disservice to the joy and whimsy of toasters. Alright, now let's examine the good and the bad in this episode. The chase scene with Predaking was pretty cool, and there's a fun bit where Blue RC heaps the scorn on Pink RC. They also seem to be taking time to give Optimus Prime a send-off, and not just killing him really suddenly. But on the other hand, they are really dragging out the death of Optimus Prime. I consider that to be both good and bad, sort of depending on how you feel about it. There also weren't a lot of major developments in this episode, other than the before-mentioned Predaking malarkey. Give this episode a watch just to see what happens in the story. 3 out of 5. Tune in next time, same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.
That's all, folks.